So how far up the hill is he?
Well, he was about a third of the way up. It won't be all that bad, but we can scan for him here right away and see if he's gone. Hopefully he hasn't gone too far up the hill. We'll take the bucket and... All right, we'll go right through here.
Running pretty loud?
Yep. But because of the cold weather, he hasn't...
Wayne Durda and Corey Anderson are looking for snakes.
I think there'll still be.
And when they find them, they have to be very careful.
Is that on the attenuator?
Yes, and it's way down. The game is way down, too. So he's very close here. Seems like in that direction there.
I see him.
You see him? Good. He's right there. You see, he's kind of tucked in behind those leaves.
The Washington University researchers are studying timber rattlesnakes, a shy but venomous resident of Missouri's woodlands.
Okay.
Mid-body, 40.8.
Radio transmitters allow them to collect data by tracking previously captured snakes.
Yanni, just be patient there.
I used to be terrified of snakes, and what really changed it for me was going into the woods and looking for snakes. Once you enter into that mindset of going out and looking for snakes and studying snakes, you see a side to them that, you know, is the antithesis of what you are taught to believe about snakes. I mean, like a timber rattlesnake in its forested habitat is far from some sort of an aggressive predator, or, you know, it's actually a pretty passive animal that wants to be left alone. Get out of here.
Of course, two questions may come to mind. How do you put a radio transmitter on a rattlesnake? And perhaps more importantly, why? The answers to both questions can be found at the St. Louis Zoo.
I mean, it's kind of a neat thing when you're looking at what you got here, because you have West Tyson and, you know, Lone Elk and Castlewood and all that going on, that there's good buffer zone around here, and that's really what needs to happen here.
Curator of reptiles Jeff Etling has been studying timber rattlesnakes for several years. Both the zoo study and the Washington University research are ultimately trying to answer the same question: can humans and rattlesnakes coexist?
I think that's the thing that's going to be important long term for good buffer zones, and a lot of that's just going to have to be through education. I think too is, you know, if people are going to move out into these areas, they've got to realize what they're dealing with, and the fact that the snakes are so, you know, passive and secretive and really don't want anything to do with people at all. I think as people have continued to move west and southwest in the St. Louis, you know, area, we decided it'd be a good time to initiate a project to look at, you know, where the snakes are moving to, how much habitat are they using, what type of habitat are they using.
To track the snakes, the veterinary staff at the zoo surgically implant radio transmitters into the captured animals.
Transmitter goes intra-abdominally, which on a snake means there's ribs the whole length of the snake, so no matter where we go, we have to go between ribs. Transmitter looks large, but if you consider what the animals eat, it's significantly smaller than a meal, so it doesn't cause any problem.
Ideally, what you try to do with the transmitter is to use one that's ideally about 5% of the body mass of the snake. The ones we put in here today is a 150-week transmitter. So basically, we're going to get about 3 years of use out of that. This is a good sign. The snake's starting to tongue flick. We've double-checked that our transmitter is actually sending out a signal. So within the next day or so, this animal will be back out in the wild. Another success.
I feel like I've done this walk before.
Yes, well, this is our 5th year for Ozzy.
Back in the field, the Washington University team tracks another rattlesnake.
A little further and we'll head up the hill.
We've been tracking here for, well, this is our 6th year, and we have over 6,000 of observations, you know, in the active season, and I still love walking up on the snake that I'm tracking, just seeing it there, and I think I'll always love it, no matter how many times, you know, we do that. His head's at 14.
The myths regarding venomous snakes far outweigh the reality. Missouri has not had a fatal snake bite incident in several decades. While encounters with copperheads are relatively common, the shy, reclusive timber rattlesnake is rarely seen. The fear of rattlesnakes, while understandable, is largely unfounded.
Chances are you're never going to see one of these animals. And there's been people that have lived in the vicinity of, the study site that have never ever seen one. But if they do, they ought to, appreciate the fact of, this is like one of the real signs of wilderness to me.